Hi, on this episode of Relax, I Got This. It's our Agent to Agent series where we're headed to Lakeland, Florida to speak with Kelly Fain. Kelly has been in the real estate industry for over 10 years and loves working and matching people and families to the homes that best suit them. So let's talk to Kelly Fain.
A real estate transaction is potentially the largest investment we make in our lives. Whether you're buying and selling your personal home or investing in real estate, you need the knowledge to make the right decisions. Get ready. Robin is a Texas realtor and has the experience to give you the information you need to make the right decisions. Welcome to Relax, I Got This with your host, Robin McCoy.
All right. And Kelly, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
So, as we mentioned a moment ago, Kelly is part of my daily mastermind group of the agents
Yes.
across the country that we have relationships with. And it's one of the great things kind of in my real estate world is knowing I've got people wherever I need them.
Yes. Yes. It's
So
true. It
Central
makes a
Florida,
difference.
Lakeland, Florida. So I have heard of
Mhm.
Lakeland actually through an organization, the American Businesswomen's Association, that I'm a
Mhm.
member of. They have a big chapter in Lakeland. So
Mhm.
that's how I've heard of it, but I don't know much about Lakeland. So tell me a little bit about
Sure. I love Lakeland, and I'm sure that will come across
it.
in this interview. Lakeland is in Central Florida. It's smack dab between Tampa and Orlando. It has on like the actual, city limits about 120,000 in the city limits, but it's bigger because it's grown. It is, yeah, about an hour from Tampa, about an hour from Orlando. I would say the traffic is more going to Orlando, but it's a really good it's a really good place for people that have jobs, um, that it's become an affordable commute, and also for those that, you wanna go to Disney or whatever. So, um, it's become a really great just city. It's really there's a big emphasis on supporting local businesses and restaurants and community and parks, and it's I have a family personally. I've got 4 kids and a husband and 2 dogs, and it's a great area for raising a family. There are parks everywhere, and it's actually, there was just a report set out from, I wanna say it was US Newsweek, that we are the 4th fastest growing city in the US right now. So
Really?
the
Really?
secret is out. The secret is out. Um, and that this is just it's big small town. So you go to the grocery store, you're going to see someone you know. You go to a park, you're going to see someone you know, and just people are friendly. And we drink our tea sweet, so it's like the South, but it is big small town. So I love living here. We got a lot of the major conveniences and restaurants and shopping. And then if anyone wants something bigger or more, we are an hour to bigger cities. So
And
it
I
is
think that's
a
important,
great
right?
area to live. Yes, yes.
You're an
And
hour from a major airport, right? So in
yes,
either
2 major
direction.
airports.
Yeah, in
Yes.
either
And
direction.
so and big, we've got great hospitals and stuff here, but if you need something bigger or more specialized, in fact, I have people that are moving to the area, because their daughter needs hospitals closer to Orlando, and they were just tired of commuting, hours and hours. So
Mhm.
anyway, um, it's a great city. I love Lakeland, and there are several universities here, so we have a big pull where people will go to school here and then discover the charm and
That's what I
stay
was gonna
here.
ask you. What do you if it's the 4th fastest growing city, what is drawing is there industry that's drawing people there? You mentioned universities. Is there something?
There's the universe. I think it's just people want to move to Florida.
Yeah.
I think COVID and a lot of people working from home, they're like, hey, if I'm working from home, why am I shoveling snow?
That's
And
what I would say.
exactly. And Lakeland is just really good community. So I think that's part of it is we have so many people moving to the area, and Florida is one of those states that's just growing, and
It
we're
really
still
is.
fairly affordable. I think there's challenges in any real estate situation, but it's still compared to a lot of other states, like we don't have the state taxes that other
Right.
states do. So people are selling their California and New York houses and going, I could get that for 450. And we're like, yes, yes, you can. So that's part of it is that is still largely affordable and it's beautiful and we have great weather and I just love it here. I love it here.
And you're kind of out of the, I mean, you're kind of out of the weather hurricane zone being in Central
In the
Florida, right?
Yes, in Central Florida, we do get hurricanes, but by the time they get to us in general, they've weakened. So
Yeah.
we
You're
do
not
get
on the
them, but
front
it's not
line. You're not on that
we're
front
not on the
line of
front
them.
lines and we're not in like the flooding zones and that kind of thing. So
So that's
I think
because
that's
I
part of
know,
it too.
when you live up north or you live in Texas and people worry about, well, how many tornadoes do you get? When you live in
Mhm.
Florida, like, aren't you in the hurricane zone? You live in California, do you
Mhm.
get earthquakes all the time? So everybody always
Exactly.
has these
Exactly.
these things that they're
Exactly.
afraid of. So you've lived in Florida. Are you from Florida? Were you born there
I wasn't
or
born
raised?
here, but
Okay.
I've lived here since I was 10, so good
Okay.
28
So
years now. I just say, "Do you drink your tea sweet?" And that's
yeah.
usually a pretty good indication. So I've been in Lakeland. I've kinda grown up in a couple areas in Florida. I was
Yeah.
in Fort Myers area, south, and then Crystal River area where the manatees are, and then I went to college in Lakeland, Florida. Moved away for a couple years. My husband's from here. When we got married, we moved back here. So I've been in Lakeland for now almost 10, 11 years. So
Okay. So good long
pre
time.
go and that was actually including college, we could say 15 years. So
Yeah.
it's a good area.
So that's a good long time. Now you've been in real estate though, what you said, 10 years, I think. So
Yes, yes. I've been
tell
in
me
real
how
estate.
you had landed what you were doing before and how you ended up selling houses.
Oh, that's a great question. So I was a teacher for 4 years. I taught 2 years of middle school, sixth grade English, and 2 years of eighth grade English. And when we moved back
God
to
bless you.
Lakeland, I found out I know I did love them, and I found out I was pregnant with baby number two, and it didn't make sense to be a teacher and pay for two kids in daycare, and so stay at home mom for a year. And at the time, I had some family members of my husband's that moved into our house and they were older teens and it was a hard situation, like I'm not going to lie, and I kind of felt like I needed an outlet.
Hmm.
And I had been interested in real estate. My mom was a realtor, my grandpa was a realtor. Actually real put the pieces together recently. I'm like, "Oh, I'm third generation realtor." Um and I just one night told my husband, I'm like, "Hey, I signed up for a real estate course today." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Just the course though. I'm just taking the course."
I'm not going to
And
do
so I
it,
took
but
the
I'm
course.
just taking the
Yeah, I'm just
course.
taking the course. And then I was like, "Well, I mean, I got to do my fingerprints and I'm going to do the exam." And so I passed the exam. And
Also, I
at the
got this
time,
license now.
yeah, I'm like, it's just kind of snowballed. And I had like an acquaintance, another mom that I knew through some groups, and she was a realtor and she was doing really well. And I just kind of said, "You're a realtor and you're a mom. Can we like have coffee and you can tell me how you do it?" And she said, "Sure." And so we met and she's like, "Well, I'm with Keller Williams. They're number one. They're big support. They're big training." And I was like, "Well, if you're successful and your mom and you're with Keller Williams, that's what I'm going to do too." And so that's what I did. And it just kind of all snowballed from there. And I will tell you, it's been a big blessing in my life. Real estate has been. It was one of those. I just thought like I went into it thinking I'm going to show houses and work on my own schedule, and
We all have
I real
this little vision of
like
that,
of
don't
how it was
we?
going to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I realized quickly that showing houses is probably like 10% of the job, and that there's much to it, and that my availability was going to need to be greater than I originally thought it was. But it's been a big blessing. I've had 2 other kids since, and so I have 4 kids total, and I've been able to build my career, and I've been able to help a lot of people and sell a lot of real estate while still having a level of flexibility. One of the benefits of joining real estate is it's really helped my families between income and changed our lives. The danger of being a realtor, I would say, is you see all these houses and you, several years ago, I was looking for a client that wanted a house with land, but they didn't want fixer upper. They wanted like move-in ready or whatever. And there's one half a mile from our house in like the right neighborhood, and it was a fixer upper on land. And I said, that's not going to work for them, but we should go look at it. My husband said, "We're not, Kelly. We're not moving." And I said, "We don't have to move. We're just going to go look at it." And I mean, it was a 2.5 acre plot of land in the middle of town, and which is not
Wow.
common. And we
No.
walked in the backyard. We didn't even see the house. We just walked in the backyard and said, as long as the house will fit us, like we're
We can.
buying it. And so we bought it, but it was a fixer upper. It was a short sale. We have done most everything to it.
Wow.
We've been in there for 9, almost 10 years. So some of the stuff we're starting to have to redo.
Do
And and um, but it's been a blessing because just about every time that it's like, okay, the AC went out, we need an AC unit. I was like, well, I just sold a house this last week, and
so we can
it's
pay for
really
that. Yeah.
provided us to be able to like to have investments to purchase our own house. Real estate has been a really big blessing. And so I've tried to kind of pass that on to new agents to help them to be like, listen, this can change your life. It
Yeah.
really can. And so that's part of what I've enjoyed about it. And one of the ways it's blessed me is
Well, and you
just
can
kind of,
share that story too with clients, right? We talk to clients all the time about. Hi, I'm Robin McCoy, a Texas realtor for over 15 years. As the adult child of a senior needing to make a living change, I know firsthand the stress that can be involved in guiding our seniors and their families through the challenging decisions surrounding senior living. From adapting your current home for aging in place to finding the right senior community, I provide comprehensive support tailored to your unique needs. By offering these specialized services, I aim to make the transition to senior living as smooth as possible, providing you and your family with peace of mind and confidence in every decision. For more information, go to robinmccoysenior.solutions.com and let me take some of the stress of senior moves away. Relax, I've got this. We talk to clients all the time about, this is your first house, but that doesn't mean you have to sell that first house to buy the next house.
yeah,
Right? So now
yeah.
it's an investment property, or it's,
Oh,
you
we're
don't,
staying at this one forever.
but you don't know what, I think a
You
lot
never
of our
know what the
clients,
future
when they
holds.
come in, they think that that's going to be their forever house, or, not realizing that real estate is also can be a wealth building tool, I guess is where I'm trying to
100% it can be.
go with that,
100%.
because even when prices fluctuate, we've refinanced our house a few times to pay for the air conditioner, right? It's
Yeah.
like, let this house pay for itself.
Yeah.
And
We did
I'm
it.
not going to go
We
take
did a
my
second
money and buy an
mortgage to
AC and get money out.
second mortgage to do a big renovation because there was equity. We've lived in the house for 10 years and, value has increased. And so that's the benefit of real estate. Like your wealth can grow, the equity can grow, and you can make it what you want it to be.
Well, so tell me about your business. So what does real estate look like in Lakeland? And I don't mean, interest rates and there's, it's a seller's market, it's a
Sure.
buyer's market, but what kind of housing can we look at if I were going to move to Lakeland or consider Lakeland? What would I see when I get there?
That's a great question. So there's all kinds of different houses. We have historic, I mean, compared to the rest of the country, our historic's like 100 years old, but or 120. But we have historic houses. We have a bunch of new construction that's kind of
Okay.
creeping up all over. We have lots of new construction. Right now, I'm seeing there's a lot of incentives from builders. I'm not sure if you're seeing that in Dallas right now.
Yeah.
So for my buyers that are kind of on a tighter budget, that's been a really good route to go is new
Right.
construction because they're doing that. So we have all kinds of things. We have single family homes, we have duplexes, we have townhomes, kind of
Mhm.
everywhere. And it kind of is interesting. The city was built central, and so a lot of our historic stuff is more central.
Sure.
And then as the city has grown, it's gotten so some of the older stuff is in the center, and then there was a big boom in the 70s. So we have a lot of houses that were built in the 70s, and then newer is kind of like on the outskirts. That's kind of in general what I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's, so Dallas is huge and it's getting
Hmm.
so much bigger going north. We're almost Oklahoma. I mean, we've almost
Wow. Yeah.
like hit the border. And so now we're going south. You see west of Fort Worth. I mean, it's just because the people are coming. So they, new construction. You got all, the fourth fastest growing city in the country. There's got to be some new construction going on to
Oh
accommodate
yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so you can get newer homes and as well as older. So what kind of
Yeah.
price
It's
ranges?
there.
I mean, you know,
I would say our average price point is still around 350, 360, um, for like a 3.2, and you can have
yeah,
lower or higher. So compared to a lot of the rest of the country, that's affordable,
it's really affordable.
So I would say that's our average price point. And
Yeah.
so, but you can get, less, you can get more. And depending on what amenities, the age, do you want a pool? A lot of people, it's Florida. A lot of people want pools, and so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do see a
especially if
lot
you're
of
not
that.
that close to if you're, an hour or so from a beach, you want
Yes,
a swimming
yes,
pool.
and it hit 100 yesterday, like, by
Did
us,
it really?
and so it did. It is.
I
We
don't
are the
think we
hottest
even
part of
we
the
haven't
country
even hit
right now.
100 yet. We've come into the
Yeah,
90s, but we haven't even hit 100 yet.
and so people are love having their pools. It's a great lifestyle. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, kind of tell me a little bit, what kind of things you mentioned all the parks and the great for families and things like that, but what would if you were going to convince me to move move to Lakeland, what would be some of those things that you would, emphasize or share with me?
So I would say the community. There is a great
Yeah.
community. There's a lot of philanthropy that happens here. There's great organizations that happened here. A lot of ways to give back. And I'd say the people in the communities are what makes the difference. I remember when my parents and I first moved to Florida from a different state up north, we were shocked. We're like, people say hi to you at the grocery store. Like that was kind of a novel
That's
idea.
weird.
Yeah. So I would say just the friendliness of the people and the convenience and the cost, and you'll get a feel by just driving around like how you would feel. One of the big attractions in Lakeland is there's a lake called Lake Hollingsworth, and it's about 3 miles around, and people bike and they walk and they jog and they their dogs, and there's something for everyone
Yeah.
here. If you've got a family, if you are more of an outdoorsy person, if you've got there's several active adult communities in the area. If not Lakeland, we're close to other cities as well. So just whoever you are, there's something.
There's
And
something.
that's
Yeah.
one there's something. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about it.
Well, and I think that's important too, because, to have just different, different demographics, right? Are you over 55? Are you young and haven't, are you single? Are you starting a family? Are you
Mhm.
don't have kids because you don't want them, but you want to be in a
For
strong
whatever reason,
community?
yeah.
You know, I think a lot of that adds to an environment where
I would
you
say, and
have
there's
that
always
diversity.
something that goes on. We have lots of downtown. We've got Saturday farmers market. We got First Friday downtown. We've got all kinds of different activities. There's something going on like every weekend and many weeknights. And so there's never an opportunity to say there's nothing to do. You can be as involved and as
Or none
busy as you
involved.
want, or not at all. Or you can go walk the lake.
That's
That's
well,
one of the things I
and it
appreciate
sounds
about
like,
it.
with that many people growing that fast, now's the time to get into a community like that, right? Because
Be the leader you know you can be. Build your professional network and access education that takes you where you want to go. We are women of all ages and backgrounds. You deserve national recognition and opportunities to build relationships with people you want to work and grow with. Hit the ground running with the Charisma chapter of the American Businesswomen's Association. Meetings each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday in Farmers Branch, Texas, and online. Come with us. Experience ABWA for yourself. Go to charisma.abwa.org to learn more.
with that many people growing that fast, now's the time to get into a community like that, right? Because prices just are inevitably going to start moving upwards when you've got that kind of growth.
Absolutely. It's supply and demand. That's one of the questions people ask me is like, how's the market? How are things going? Do you anticipate prices to go down? And I was just like, it's just simple supply and demand. We've got all these people move into Florida and there's just supply isn't.
Got to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
Put them somewhere.
So, yeah.
Well, if there's one thing that we didn't mention that you want to make sure you want to share with the folks that are listening, whether it be about your business, about yourself personally, about Lakeland, maybe anything we didn't talk about, what would you like that to share?
Well, I would just say, one of the things that I appreciate that real estate has done to me, maybe I'll speak to some of the realtors that are also moms or dads or whatever. One of the things that I've learned is the importance, the business term we use is leverage. And I would say I've been able to have a level of success in my real estate. I will say my real estate career is based off probably 80% referrals. It's based off of relationships, the people that I know, those that refer people, their friends and family to me. And I'm so grateful because that's the biggest compliment someone can give because it's their biggest investment. It's someone's biggest investment saying, here you go, help me handle it. And
here's my family, find us a place to be. It's huge, isn't it?
Thousands of dollars. You're like, and very rarely are real estate transactions 100% smooth. You're usually the one that it's troubleshooting and smoothing over and finding solutions. And so I would say, no matter where you're looking, you need to have someone that you can trust is looking in your best interests because and it's a stressful situation. It's got to be someone that you are comfortable with to like have these hard discussions with.
Yeah.
Like
share personal information. You're in each other's back.
Personal information
in the back pocket.
And you're talking most every day, while you're in a transaction, while you're looking for a house or selling a house, that's a big deal. So I would say if you're looking to buy or sell, like whoever you choose, beyond just marketing, you have to be able to trust them. And so that is a huge deal. And then I want to share kind of for those that are realtors here is leverage. I've been able to sell a decent amount of real estate and have success because I've had leverage. I'm on a team. We have a transaction coordinator. But actually, one of the things that I've found success with is leverage at home. And I'm a mom. And rather than having my kids go to daycare, I had a nanny that I hired to come to my house. And she is wonderful, Miss Terry. She's an older lady. She's a widow. And I said, hey, when you're here and it's nap time, would you mind helping me with some laundry and some light meal prep? And she said, absolutely. And that has been one of the bigger game changes of my life, that it's allowed me to sell real estate because I know that my home, when I'm home, I want to be home with my kids and I don't want to have to be worried about all the different, there's still always stuff, but it has allowed me to. So I think for those that are realtors listening here, I want to challenge you to think about what are areas in your life, not just your business, but your life that you can leverage. And so, I pay for the grocery delivery services. I do because
girl, I do too. I will never go to a grocery store again if I don't have to. Exactly.
And so just think through like, what are things in your life that you can get off your plate in your personal life? Is it having a housekeeper come, every week or every other week so that you can be home with your family and not have to worry about mopping your floors? Like, is it having a meal delivery service? Is it, what areas of your life can you leverage so that you can be more present with those around you?
I
And
love that.
so
And I
that's
think that goes, I mean, that's just a business conversation, right?
yeah,
Anybody that, has, that works, right? Find,
yeah.
we've talked on our call that in this call that we're on every morning about making sure that we're present for our families
Hmm.
as well as our business. And whether you're selling houses, you're selling cars, you're CEO of a major corporation, you still need that balance and
I agree.
finding that leverage so that you can serve your clients at the highest level
Absolutely.
and
And
serve your
be
family
present
at the
with my
highest level as
family
well.
at the highest level.
So, all right. Well, I want to thank you for spending this time with
Thank
us. We are
you.
going to have
Thank you. This has
all
been
of your
lovely.
contact information out there in the show notes. And so, if anybody is moving in, out, or around Lakeland, Florida, make sure that you
Yeah,
give
I'm
Kelly a
probably within
call.
like an hour radius
There
around
you
what I
go.
serve.
So she goes from here an hour out.
Yeah,
So, and again, she said this is a big investment and you want somebody that you can trust, and based on, just even referrals, you don't want to just pull somebody out of a phone book, because you don't, even though they may be a great realtor, are they going to be a great fit for you and your family? And so there's conversations that always need to be had. Kelly is one of my colleagues, and I hope that you will trust her with your real estate needs in the future.
likewise, Robin. It was very nice to be on here. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thanks for tuning in to
Bye.
another episode of Relax, I Got This. This is the Agent to Agent series. We were in Lakeland, Florida with Kelly Fain. Make sure you tune in again next time for our next episode. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for Relax, I Got This with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and her guests, and to access your free buyer and seller guides. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Relax, I Got This with Robin McCoy.